Trae Young should not be an all-star. I said that last week, and Trae proceeded to make me look stupid.
Trae, nice move, and puts it in.
He averaged 33 points per game the next 3 games. Meanwhile, people were slamming me in the comments section. I'm an idiot, what am I doing? Couple of curse words here and there. Look, there have only been 2 players ever to be an all-star while on the team with the league's worst record. Tracy McGrady in 2004, Carmelo Anthony in 2015. And instead of responding to every comment, this video will explain why Trae Young does not deserve to be an all-star in 2020. There are 3 main reasons. We'll break down each of them one by one. And I really want to know what you guys think in the comments section below, especially if you come to this video with an open mind. Now, if you're a Trae Young fanboy, you're obsessed with him, you have him as an all-star starter, I mean, you can go ahead and slam me in the comments just like you did last video, but I really want to see some smart comments and some actual discussion about this. Hey guys, it's Casey Kiernan, host of the AM Hoops YouTube channel. Hit subscribe because we're coming out with 3 quality NBA videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 Eastern. Also, I know this probably isn't the best day to do it because half of you hate me, but if you want to support the channel, I've been getting comments about the shirt that I wear in videos. So brand new, I've got them for sale just below this video. Thanks guys, I appreciate all of you. So reason number 1, impact. There's no doubt Trae Young has box score stats that compare with guys who are a lock for the All-Star. Only guys with more points per game, James Harden, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic. Only guys with more assists per game, LeBron James, Ricky Rubio, Luka Doncic. And of course, Trae's also really exciting to watch. Deep threes. In his first 2 seasons, his average 3-pointer is from almost 28 feet away. That's number 1 in the NBA. And all of that was on display during those 3 games I said recently where he made me look dumb, scoring an average of 33 points per game. But here's the thing. All 3 of those games came in a loss, including against the Washington Wizards. And while I was reconsidering putting Trae in my all-star lineup, I just couldn't do it. And while trying to put my finger on it, I heard this from Eric Spoelstra after a Heat game. Now, Spo was talking about who should be a max contract player, but I think it counts for all-star too.
That's what young players should learn coming into the league of what a max player actually means. It's not about stats. It's not about, that final number on the box score. It's not about, whatever 2K numbers you can get. It's not. It's about how your team functions and are you winning because of a player. And too often it becomes about stats or people that can pile up a bunch of stats, even at a young age, but they're empty stats and they don't impact winning.
Exactly! Impact on winning. Yes, Trae compiles stats. He also compiles L's. I've got 2 points to back this up other than just the loss column. First, the average number of team points and assists has been on the rise. In 1996, teams scored an average of 96.8 points per game with 22 assists per game. Those numbers are now up to 110.4 points and 23.6 assists per game. Someone's got to get all those stats. And on the Hawks, the only real candidate is Trae Young. His teammates have been atrocious this season. I mean, let's just look at the current starting 5 when healthy. John Collins' suspension meant that Trae had to compile even more stats. Kevin Huerter was injured for 11 games, but he has underperformed. He has not taken that second-year jump.
Oh, he missed it. He missed that shot.
DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish have had rough starts offensively. Travis Schlenk, the GM of the Hawks, drafted Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter to pick up Trae's slack on the defensive end. We all knew that those 2 guys weren't very good offensively coming out of college. It's no wonder why Trae gobbles up the offense. And what about the bench? And I know what you're saying, Jabari Parker's been good. He hasn't been consistent. The bench has been literally the worst in the NBA. They're at the very bottom in bench plus minus. I'll say it again, somebody on every team has to get the points and the assists. And no player on any team in the NBA is better set up to get a bigger share of his teams than Trae Young. Point number 2 about his offense is how he impacts the team. Let's look at their offensive rating with Trae on the floor, but let's eliminate the fourth quarter because this team plays so much garbage time. Let's just talk about the competitive quarters. The answer, 107.3 points per 100 possessions. That is 35th percentile, which means 65% of the league impacts their team on offense better than Trae Young. He's getting stats, but his impact on team offense is below average. Reason number 2, defense. I know the actual All-Star game, they don't play any defense, and Trae Young would fit right in, but defense does matter, and I use my All-Star vote as a way to reward guys who take defense seriously in the regular season. In fact, all the greats have taken defense seriously in the regular season, especially when they were younger. I mean, guys like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, whoever, they have been all NBA defense at some point. That is an all-star. Now, you do have to give Trae Young this. He may be small, but he ain't lazy. The NBA actually tracks how far players run on defense, and not many guys run further than Trae. Every game he runs 1.14 miles on D, which means he's chasing a lot because teams are engaging Trae on offense. They're attacking Trae because of how bad he is. He is 6'1", 180 pounds, which makes him one of the smaller players in the league, and teams are taking advantage. They say defense is all about effort. That's not true in Trae Young's case. He's clearly trying. Look at all that running he's doing. He just can't get it done. His defensive real plus minus is negative 3.7, which basically means in English, the Hawks are 3.7 points per 100 possessions worse with Trae on the floor. That makes him the 7th worst player in the NBA by that metric. But all this wouldn't matter if there weren't better players to vote for. So reason number 3 why Trae shouldn't be an all-star is the field. So out of all the players in the Eastern Conference, we have to fill 2 backcourt starters, 2 backcourt reserves, and then there are 2 wild card spots that are voted on by the coaches that could go to either frontcourt or backcourt players. To fill those 6 spots, most people would probably consider Kemba Walker, Ben Simmons, Bradley Beal, Kyle Lowry, Zach LaVine, Spencer Dinwiddie, Devontae Graham, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Derrick Rose, and Trae Young. That's 11 players to fit into those 6 spots. I think most of you would agree the locks are Kemba Walker and Ben Simmons. So how does Trae compare to the others? Well, if we're gonna pick some categories, they might as well be advanced categories, not traditional, because we know that Trae compiles traditional stats. So let's compare them with offensive, defensive, and net rating to see their impact on both sides of the ball, assist to turnover ratio, because they are guards after all, and effective field goal percentage for efficiency. Trae Young versus Derrick Rose. D Rose is better at everything except for effective field goal percentage, and that's by a hair. He does, of course, play fewer minutes than Trae, but some people think Rose should be an all-star because the game is in Chicago. Maybe he should make it based on his advanced stats. Trae Young versus Bradley Beal. Trae wins 3 of 5 categories here. Beal is really awful on defense. And while he's got a better offensive rating than Trae, he's even less efficient. No wonder both their teams are awful. Trae versus Kyle Lowry. Lowry takes 3 of 5 here. His defense is a full 10.4 points better. That's why Trae's net rating is so bad. Lowry takes care of the ball as well while setting up teammates. In fact, Trae has 172 turnovers, 2nd most in the NBA. What about Trae against Zach LaVine? Zach's been playing better lately. His offensive rating is almost the same. His defense is much better, and he's less efficient, not as much of a playmaker. I think I'd give Trae the nod here. What about Trae Young against Spencer Dinwiddie? Dinwiddie's been better in almost every category here, but his case for an all-star is keeping the Nets afloat while Kyrie Irving was down. What about Trae against Devontae Graham? This one really is a toss-up. You can see how Devontae compares in these categories, but honestly, I could go either way at this point in 2020. What about Trae against Malcolm Brogdon? You can see the categories here. Brogdon doesn't do anything at an elite level, but he does impact winning on both ends of the floor. Trae Young against Jaylen Brown. Brown is averaging career highs, and he's insanely efficient. Look at these numbers for Jaylen Brown. They're crazy. Among qualified players who've scored at least 20 points per game, he's third in field goal percentage and second in three-point percentage. That's elite. And look at how efficient he is. He takes the second fewest shots per game. He's also fourth in rebounds per game among guards, and he's an anchor for the C's top 5 defense. My final ranking here is Kemba Walker, Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, Kyle Lowry, Spencer Dinwiddie, Malcolm Brogdon, Trae Young, Derrick Rose, Devontae Graham, Zach LaVine, then Bradley Beal. Remember, the top 6 maximum get into the All-Star game. Let me know how you would rank them in the comments. I'm not trolling. I respect your right to vote for Trae Young because he compiles stats, or he's fun to watch, or he makes crazy shots, and you want to see that in the All-Star game. But like Eric Spoelstra, I vote for All-Star, All-NBA, or a max player based on winning and the impact that he has on his team. For me, Trae Young does not deserve an All-Star in 2020. Support AM Hoops and click subscribe. Don't miss a weekly NBA video.